Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing my first fragrance review, and it is none other than Bleu De Chanel. And more specifically, this is the Parfum edition. So let me give you a close-up there of what that looks like. There you go. So Bleu De Chanel comes in three different concentrations. Well, four if you count the body spray. There's the EDT, EDP, and the Parfum concentration. This is my favorite, and I'm going to review it for you. So just a few things. This is what the front of the bottle looks like. You got your information down there on the bottom. Cap is magnetic, just like that. And let me show you what the atomizer looks like. All right, very good. Also, I wanted to point out, you'll notice on the bottle, it has right here, the words are actually kind of a gold tan or like a desert color, which makes it stand out from the silver of the original bottle as well. Something else that I wanted to bring your guys' attention to, so I don't know if you guys can see this here. Let's see. You notice the atomizer is black. So on the EDT and the EDP versions, I believe it's silver. So something to watch out for. So Bleu de Chanel, the original EDT and even the EDP were both made by Jacques Polge. So he's the in-house perfumer for Chanel. But this one, the Parfum, was made by his son, Olivier Polge. Forgive me if I'm butchering any of the names. This fragrance does run $185 retail for the 3.4 ounce or 100 milliliter, so not cheap by any means. It is the most expensive of the Bleu de Chanel line. Some of the notes featured in this fragrance are bergamot and mint at the top, lavender and pineapple, geranium in the middle, and in the base we have sandalwood, cedar, amberwood, tonka bean, and some isoe super. So I'm going to go ahead, spray some on my arm, and tell you what I think about it. And then I'll come back in a little bit to tell you about the dry down. So it's a little sweet, not as much as the previous concentrations. Something you'll notice here is that it has a lot more of a woody character than the previous two. Right off the top, if you're familiar with the other Bleu de Chanels, this one definitely feels the most luxurious. It's the richest in smell, and that makes sense because it is the highest concentration. It's not as citrusy or as juicy as the EDT or the EDP off the top. This is just all around a really enjoyable fragrance. It is a blue fragrance after all. It's something that's going to get you plenty of compliments. Won't offend anybody. In the dry down, what you're going to notice is a lot of that initial fruitiness and the sweetness is going to have gone away. And what you're left with is a lot of sandalwood, cedar, and some lavender. What you'll notice is the Parfum concentration is missing some of the zinginess of the EDT and the EDP. And I think that has a lot to do with the omission of ginger and grapefruit as a note in the fragrance. More or less, if you are only going to buy one, I think I would recommend the Parfum for sure. It has the most character, the most depth. It's definitely the richest. But I also wanted to say that it's also the strongest performing. So the EDT I used to own, and I sold that off within, I want to say, the first month or two, because I noticed within an hour, like it was a skin scent for me. So with the Parfum, I get much better performance. I actually received a compliment at the end of a full workday. Granted, by that time, a lot of the kind of fresher top notes had all disappeared. So something interesting was that the person who noticed it said that they smelled something that resembled incense. And I know that incense is a note in the EDT and the EDP, but it seems to be missing, at least on Fragrantica it is. But it is something that they noticed. So if you were to pick one, I think that the Parfum has a more sophisticated character to it. I actually even resprayed the opening again on this arm, and I have the dry down over here, and I think it manages to be more sophisticated while still maintaining some of the energy that the EDT and the EDP have. So it still has the sweetness and the fruitiness and kind of that citrusy element that we all know and love and that make it so mass appealing, but then it backs it up with these much more sophisticated woodsy notes that I think matures it up a little bit. Honestly, if you're only going to have one, I highly recommend the Parfum. You can't really go wrong with any of the Bleu de Chanel line. But again, very mass appealing, office safe. I would almost say it's virtually impossible not to like this fragrance. Unfortunately, with Chanel, there aren't many discounts out there. So if you do find one for a good price, pick it up because that'll be a steal. But as always, guys, don't take my word for it. Bleu de Chanel is pretty readily available at any Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, whatever store that you have near. And I definitely would recommend sampling all three just to see what you like. So anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I hope to see you around next time. Thanks.